Sean,
Y-
good
Yo,
morning.
yo. Hey,
Episode
man. How
2.
are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited about this week.
Me too. Wait, why are you excited?
Um, this is a great. Thank you for setting this up because I have a little story and then a point to that, which is a life revelation. I have a client flying in for 3 days in Los Angeles where I'm doing a customized program using Los Angeles as kind of the landscape. And I've only done this a few times, but I've done it with some higher end clients, and I get to do whatever I want. So I get to build, bring a team together, build a program that's basically all over LA, and I drive this client around. So the mad scientist in me just geeks out at this. The spirit of this is the 35-year-old John Kim who decided to not wear slacks and meet people at the coffee shop. And so that spirit I'm tapping back into. So I'm very excited to kind of play with my Legos this week.
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never got promoted at Yahoo because I would wear jean shorts to work.
Jorts. Jorts.
Jorts. Yeah.
Hey,
I just
not
wasn't
not
manager.
many not many can pull off jorts. Were you able to?
I was able to pull off jorts. Yeah, but it's a career limiting move.
Yeah. This is the 90s? Were
2000s.
they in? Okay.
I was riding a fixie around San Francisco. It was cool, with the messenger bag and
Yeah, yeah.
that
You
whole
know, if
thing.
if um if they weren't uh uh cut with scissors on the bottom. Like if you like the Incredible Hulk. Like if, as long as they didn't look like that, I think you could pull them off.
Well, they were cut with scissors. Yep, and they frayed. Yep.
That's what the frayed. So oh shit. So they were frayed. So it was like you went from the Incredible Hulk. You woke up into the yeah. So like the before he turns into the Hulk,
Yeah,
before the
they were
shorts rip,
frayed.
before the shorts
So
rip.
so you're happy, you're excited that you've got this client coming in. You get to sort of like just design this experience for them.
Yes, it's unconventional. So here's my revelation is so I was talking to my friend and just kind of talking shop with him and he said there's something about um you just being you and listening to what feels honest to you, and when you do that I think the universe kind of holds it. The universe wraps that. And I think a lot of people they have this um they have this side to them which I call the solid self where they're like, oh, I wonder if I could do this my way. This way feels honest to me. It goes against a lot of shoulds. I'm gonna get pushback, and then I'm scared too. So a lot of people don't see what's on the other side of that. And on the other side of that is, I mean, it's endless. It's magic. And I was like, yeah. I mean, just doing things that feel more kind of organic and honest to you. And usually those projects are seamless. You know.
I think we have that in common. I also think it takes a lot of courage to,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think my dad used to always say that I what is it? I walk to the beat of my own drum.
Yes. Yes.
It takes courage because there isn't a lot of data on how that ends up,
No, it's
right?
it's it's uncharted, and that's why people are like, "Well, there's no blueprint. I don't what if I do this and this, what do I get?" Well, it's uncharted, so I don't know, and that's the point. Is you have to be kind of a pioneer in your own way. You could also
Yeah.
fail, of course.
Well, and you will fail many
Mm-hmm.
times over.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's not for everybody. I recognize that a lot of people are like, actually, I just want a steady paycheck.
Yeah,
I just want to go
yeah,
to
yeah. I
work.
just want to punch the
Tell me what
clock.
to do.
Right.
Sometimes I want to punch the clock.
I don't ever want to punch. I tell people that I want to punch the sky, not the clock. It's a little
All right,
cheesy,
John, let me tell you how I'm doing.
but. Did I take this too long? Is that why? Is that
No,
why you
no,
said
it
it
was
like that
fine.
way?
It's just a
Oh, okay.
natural transition.
Okay.
I'm doing really good.
That's great to hear. Tell us about
I'm
it.
doing the best that I have done in a long time because I
It's
just
some
spent my first week in Montreal.
Oh, so it's like just kind of coming back home feeling, or what is it?
Yeah,
Or
the
did something
city. I
happen?
mean, the city is just welcoming me. I'm like
Mm.
running into friends. I
Oh,
joined the
nice.
gym. I've been doing like a calisthenics class, weightlifting class, CrossFit. I've been running. Joined a running club.
Wow.
Uh, Went to a talent show. Saw a bunch of people. Have been eating well, and my house just feels super cozy. It's a war zone right now because they're doing some some repairs, which is one of the benefits of being a renter is you could just call and be like, hey, the ceiling's
Yeah.
falling down. And they'll be like,
Yeah.
okay, we'll send someone over. And they did. But it's just been a really good week. And I think leaving Arizona,
Hmm.
you know, I'm like surrounded by community. It just feels really nice. It feels so good to be here.
The feeling of just getting back on track. That's what's happening. Because I know your life was kind of in a whirlwind, and now you're back to the gym, meeting friends, community. Everything's like, back to your hometown.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I sometimes wonder why I ever left in the first place.
It's like a saltwater fish being thrown into freshwater and then being back thrown into the ocean. You're now back
I
in the
like
ocean.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
That's really good.
Your scales are not grayed out anymore. They're bright.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what people have said. They've said you look happier than you have in a while. Okay, John,
Yeah.
I have some feedback about our podcast episode.
Oh shit! Wow, I didn't know we were gonna do a review.
Yeah, I mean, I think
this is activating because I feel like you're giving me a report card. It reminds me of school, and I've never gotten anything above a C, so I'm a little
well.
sweaty.
Then you're gonna then this feedback will be perfect.
A corrective experience is what I feel coming.
I think, I mean, with the spirit of the podcast is that we could do better, right? So I think it's fitting that we sort of maybe look at how we are being received by some people.
Okay,
I do want to preface this by saying that it's almost all positive.
Okay. And where's this feedback coming from? Social
media. Yeah.
Okay,
social media. And let's be clear here. The feedback is coming from my audience. So they're like fans of Shaun first.
My audience, they don't engage with me. So yeah.
Well, I asked them, do you have any feedback about the podcast? So if you did that, I'm sure that you would get some answers.
The feedback next week is going to be like, stop talking about your feedback on the podcast. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe. I will say that people loved the penis talk because a lot of people don't.
You?
I know.
You said, John, we got to stop talking about the penis. And I said, dude, no one talks honestly about the penis. People are going to love it just because it's honest. We weren't trying to be anyone else.
They loved it, especially because some of the listeners don't have penises.
Yes. So they're curious about it.
Yeah, right. That's like me and vulvas. You know, I'm like, yeah, let's talk about it.
You don't know your way around.
I know my way around. I just, it's a Rubik's Cube.
I thought I did, and then I realized each is other penises are kind of generally the same as far as function. Vulvas are totally so different that I'm learning now more than ever that there is no if this works for someone, it's going to work for someone else.
Yeah, that's great because I read a book called Vagina by Naomi Wolf. And she describes penises as Manhattan. Why did I say that like that? Manhattan. There's uptown, midtown, downtown, and it all kind of works the same. And vaginas and vulvas are more like São Paulo, Brazil. Like it's all convoluted and some of it's connected and it twirls in on itself and it's easy to get lost.
Yes.
And I just really like that analogy.
I would do the same thing that I have done to an ex, which worked for her, turned her on, but for this person, was unaffected, and I would get angry, thinking I'm doing something wrong, and now I'm realizing they're so different. So you have to learn from scratch.
Were you doing the ABCs?
What is the ABCs?
Oh,
I do the ABCs with my daughter when I'm brushing her teeth.
No, this is different. This is the ABCs with your tongue on their vulva.
Oh, teach me. How do you do it?
Well, you just use it with the tongue. You like.
Oh, you draw an A and then you draw a B.
Yeah.
If you're watching this on YouTube, Shaun is sticking his tongue out doing it. Oh, it's not like you're saying you're not singing ABC using it as a time frame on how long you're doing something.
You're
literally drawing an A and then you're drawing a B.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try that. We'll see. And then
I don't think you should. I don't think it's actually a good thing. I think it's something that it's something that some people recommend doing, but I don't think it's very effective.
You go all the way to Z?
It's too random. I think Women,
Well,
for the
I
most
know
part,
don't they like a continuous pattern that
yeah,
is circular? That you're drawing all these letters, and it's like, what are you doing down there?
yeah,
Graffiti with your tongue? Like,
yeah.
what's going on?
Most
Yeah.
most want some more consistent.
Yes.
Okay, are you ready for the feedback?
Yep.
Okay. So I asked people what do you love or hate? What did you love or hate about the podcast? They loved our openness and vulnerability, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of honesty,
Mm-hmm.
openness, candid sharing about having herpes.
Oh,
Someone
that was
said, "Good,
honest. Yeah.
yeah, we can and we can talk more about herpes. I think it's really helpful to just model what that.
Let's
What are
just
you
go
laughing
through
at?
every STD we've ever gotten. Just go through each one and what
Yeah."
we have now. Yeah.
Someone said, "Good balance, and it's good that you have a license and I have street cred."
Oh, interesting. I also have street cred. At
I knew
51
you were
years
going to
on.
say that. I knew that that would be like not triggering, but that you would come up with that defense as you have a license and street cred.
Well, I don't want to say that you. Let's give you something. You have
I have a
street
certificate.
credit. Perfect. Well, that is a license. A certificate is a form of what is it in
Yeah,
the certificate?
in coaching
Oh,
from Concordia University.
oh,
I
there
also
it
have a
is.
lot of life experience, I think.
I
Not to
think you
say
have.
that you
Yeah,
don't,
yeah,
but
yeah. You do.
different life experience. Okay, so someone said, I like that you guys almost always have a clumsy interaction. And I mean that in the best possible way.
We
The
do.
best
We
possible
do.
way.
We do. I think we mildly talk over each other. I think we kind of two left feet, like stepping on each other's shoes as we're dancing.
So that leads me to the next piece of feedback. You said we step on each other. I don't think I step on you.
Oh shit! This is from
Yeah.
you. Or this is from a viewer, a
My
listener.
constructive criticism is that John seems overpowering and cuts you off. Maybe out of
Oh,
excitement, but a bit of an imbalance, in my opinion.
Sean, I need to hear this. This is now turning into an intervention. um, I do cut you off. I do cut people off. I need to relax. I'm a muzzled greyhound. This is how I am with everything. So I got to be more aware of that. Thank you, listener, for calling me out. That is, I agree
And
with you 100%.
I think like they said, it's out of
And you know what?
excitement.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking around.
Well, you took that with a lot of grace.
No, it's totally true. I need to hear that once in a while because it is coming from excitement, energy. But listen, man, I'm a fucking adult. I need to relax. I need to let other people fully finish their sentences, and I need to chill out.
Here's the thing. From a listener's perspective, it's hard to track when people are stepping on each
Yes,
other.
yes. The audio experience, of course, when people are cutting each other off, like I didn't. What did that person say? Now you're talking. Like, yeah. Let's
It,
let's um let's you know what we should do is we should did I just do it again? We should have a what is that, like a feather or a talking stick? Can I give it to you? You give to only the person with the stick can talk.
I think we could visually, because we're on video,
Yeah.
we could figure this out. It just requires pausing. It really requires pausing. I think it's a good tool in relationships as well.
I'm not going to speak until I see your lips not moving.
I think that's just a great tool in general is to wait for someone to finish. Unless you have to, sometimes you got to, like the timing is just right for a perfect joke. There has to be some leeway for us to bend the rules a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. Thank you though. That is a fair statement. And I will definitely work on that.
Okay. And so my invitation to you, though, is also if you ever have any feedback for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, overwhelmingly, the feedback was they love the bro energy. They love the honesty, the
Mhm.
vulnerability, the sharing, the life stories, the Q&A, the advice, like, and that it's a little
Awesome.
clunky and that we're, finding our feet.
Yeah. Well, that's really good to hear. It's empowering, and yeah, I'm excited to get the questions. And ultimately, if we're helping people in any way, or just making them smile or feel less alone, then this is great.
I think we're doing that. I do have a few other things to mention. So we don't actually know each other.
Ooh,
Like we are getting to develop our friendship on the air.
That is true. That is true.
We met in April. It's June.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I feel like I know you more than I actually do, just because we have known each other peripherally on social media,
Yeah.
and we have mutual friends and stuff like that. But you're
Yeah.
right, as far as like our own relationship, we've only known each other since April.
That's like 2 months. 2 months, and now we're doing a podcast together.
Is it 2 months, dude?
Yeah.
It feels like In Bloom was a year ago.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, it
God,
was
we may not even
mid-April.
like each other. There's a chance we may be like, dude, I don't know if I even like you.
I mean,
Like
so
we're in the honeymoon stage right now.
yeah, I guess. Is that how you
2
feel
months?
about me?
2 months is honeymoon, Shaun. It doesn't have to be romantic. 2 months is honeymoon. 2
That
months
makes
is
me happy.
it's a laminated poster, man. It's not the cardboard cutout. Do you know what
John
I'm saying?
loves me.
Well, I'm gonna say I'm curious. I'm just curious. We're just
I'm actually happy. I'm like feeling like feelings of like glee a little bit about our relationship developing.
okay. This is getting weird, but I'm sitting in it because
But I'm
I do
serious. I like feel a little. It's funny. I do feel like some feelings coming up, like a little bit of some admiration, some excitement.
You know why this is weird is because Shaun's an authentic man, so he's not just fucking around doing jokes. He's actually being serious, and so there's a part of me that appreciates his honesty, of course, and then there's a part of me it's like, dudes don't talk like this, and this is uncomfortable, and this is weird, and he's saying he's excited about us. I don't have men ever telling me that they're excited about me. They make fun of me, so it's all new.
Yeah, I had someone give some feedback that they said Shaun is more like willing to talk about his emotions, but John will get there eventually.
Oh my god. This is turning into an intervention. And
It's not.
ironic.
I think it's
It's
perfect.
ironic because I'm the therapist.
Yeah, that is ironic. Yeah, that's fun.
Okay, another note to self. Fuck.
And the other thing that I had so what I have is a notes, like on my notes app, I have a little document and it's about our podcast. And I have the questions in there that I've sort of like pulled out. And then I have like little notes that I think about wanting to share with you over the week, but I hold it for our conversation.
I love it. Yeah, I love the fact that we don't talk. I think it's important we don't talk, and then we do once a week, and so it's fresh and it's not rehearsed in any way.
Yeah, and you're a busy guy.
You're a busy guy.
Right
now.
Socially busy. Yeah. The other thing I had here on this list is there anything that we don't want to talk about, that we shouldn't talk about on the air? Which is kind of a weird time to bring it up,
I'm a man. You know that whole thing I keep telling you I've swum too far to turn back. I mean, I've talked about everything. I don't know. There hasn't been something that I haven't, unless it involves someone else, and out of respect, they don't want me to talk about it. Like a friend or a partner. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I know one thing about that we shouldn't talk about for you, so we'll keep that mum.
Shit.
And for me,
okay,
it's my relationship with my mom.
Mm.
Which is weird, because it's
I don't know it. I don't know anything about it.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, when you're ready, when you're ready, maybe we'll one day talk about it. Might be episode 50,
it's
59.
not me, it's her.
Oh, you don't, okay? Because it's you don't want that to be on the air, kind of thing.
I don't care.
Private.
Yeah, I would love to talk about it, but she requires a lot of privacy in her life. Just on her
okay.
own,
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So that's us respecting other people's wishes. That's not us not talking about it because we don't. Yeah, you're right. And so I think I know what you're talking about. What I don't want to talk about, and that again is respecting someone else's privacy. It falls under that umbrella as well.
Yeah, my dad told me when I started talking about. I did used to talk about my parents more on my podcast, and my dad was like, "Yeah, we would just prefer if you didn't like talk about us." And I'm like, "Okay, well, can I just say I have parents?" And they're like, "Yeah, just don't even do that." So it's like I was just like an orphan for a bit there.
Dude, I will never have that problem because my dad's not alive and my mom has never been on the internet. She doesn't know what a podcast is. She doesn't even know what I do. She there's no way. Like she's never. I know in my life, I will bet my left arm she will never listen to a podcast in her life. I mean, I'm trying to think, how would she even get, like, if someone sent her a link, but her phone, she's not online. She doesn't have the internet. She has
Well, I could talk.
cable because she watches Korean TV, but she doesn't have the internet, or have any, doesn't know how to use it, doesn't know what it is. So I could talk shit about my mom all day.
Well, let's get you on Korean television.
Oh, she will then know what I do.
She'll finally
thinks
love you.
She'll think so. No, she'll love me less because she'll realize I'm not a doctor.
Well, I could talk about my dad because he's passed. He's passed now.
Yeah.
And happy Father's Day, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I could talk about my dad as well.
Yep.
Thank you. Hey, quick question. Do you have interest in being a dad?
With the right person, yes.
Yeah.
But not just like to have a kid.
Right.
But I'm also terrified.
I can see you being a really good dad, Shaun.
I thought so too. I'm
Yeah.
really scared. I mean, I'll just be perfectly honest. Really scared about how it was going to affect my lifestyle.
There's nothing that will affect your life overnight than having a child.
More than having a kid.
More than having a child, right? Nothing.
Yeah, I think I'd be a great role model. I'm a little scared of like repeating some old patterns that I got growing up, but I think I'm healed enough to not really worry about. That's not a real concern.
Yeah.
But also with the right partner, yeah, 100%. But not just to have a kid. Although my friend, who's a woman, just had a child on her own in her mid-30s. She's a med school student.
Mm-hmm.
She has a kid. I just like hung out with the kid this weekend. 1-year-old. She says it's actually been way less stressful than she thought it was going to be. As a I know.
Oh my gosh! It's usually the other way. People are
totally.
like, "I had no idea." Yeah.
She's like, "Well, it's also an easy baby." I think she said. I think God was like, "Oh, you're in med school. Let's just give you an easy one."
Does she have a big family that lives close by, or is she independently wealthy with tons of help?
Neither.
Wow,
The kid goes to daycare and then she goes to med school.
That's crazy.
And she brings them everywhere, rare. Like in the backpack and stuff.
Dude, that's amazing. Good for her. Most people, it's like, yeah. Most people, the first year, they don't sleep and they're like, questioning everything.
Yeah. Like, is it too late to
to return? Where's my receipt?
Yeah, thanks for asking. We could talk about that more some other time.
Yeah. Well, I had a kid at 47, so you have lots of time. Not that you don't think you do, but.
I mean, I'm 40, almost 42. Yeah, I guess there's a few years left.
You do have lots of time.
Someone told me that I'm on the Titanic and the ship's going down.
No, dude.
And then I have to find a lifeboat. I have to find a lifeboat.
That's what having a kid feels like. The ship going down and finding a lifeboat. That's what having a kid feels like.
Okay, yeah. What's the lifeboat?
Anything you could hold on to just to fucking function, man.
A loving partner, probably, and
a loving partner. Some hobbies, community. I don't know. Yeah, workout, whatever. Yeah. Whatever that. To me, it's a Harley. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, what kind of Harley do you have? I don't know anything about Harleys, but
this is where we're gonna start losing listeners.
Okay. Anyways, do you want to do questions?
Lowrider ST, customized.
Okay. That was actually the first question. What kind of Harley do you have? Lowrider ST,
black and gold. Bike number 6. Bike. I've had 6 bikes.
Are you ever concerned that no one knows who you are when you're riding it, or does the whole stickers that says "The Angry Therapist" on the side solve that?
Dude, that's new, man. That's new, and I was not sure if I wanted to do it. My assistant made it, gave it to me, and I. So I have a motorcycle with bags, and I put on one of the compartments. I put the Angry Therapist, and I was like, "Is this lame? Why am I doing this?" But then it's like, hey, you had the Love Drive on your car in the back, fucking trunk for a long time.
That's why this is so funny. Is that I drove from San Francisco to Montreal with the Love Drive and a little Instagram logo, hand
that's
painted.
Different. That's
hand painted.
It doesn't say at the Angry Therapist. That I wouldn't do.
Yeah, I was happy
it just
when
says the
I drove through a car wash in Montana and it like wiped it away with the power sprayer.
Because yours also said "follow me" at.
It didn't. It just had the. This was also like 8 years ago when I had like 2,000 followers, and I think by the end of it, I had like 2012.
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay,
All right.
questions?
Yes, let's do it. You go
You want me to
first.
start?
Yes.
All right. So this is not a this is how much do you think height matters in finding a partner?
Ooh. Hey, do you find that women are more concerned with height than men? I find that, and that's a generalization. I get it, but I always feel like women are interested in taller men, but men rarely talk about how height, how tall or short a woman is. I don't think it's that important to men.
Well, I think
Or-
because statistically it's less interesting. I'm trying to see if that makes sense. Women want a taller guy.
yes,
Men
and
don't want a taller partner
that's not true. That's not true.
for the most part.
For the most part, yes. But I've been with women taller than me, and I've loved it. Or they'll wear heels and then they tower over me. Um, I
What do you
get I
love
get a
about
lot of.
that?
I just love it. I think it's long legs. I don't know. I just find it attractive. I think with women, when they're taller than the man, it makes them feel less something, less feminine, or makes there's something happening where they need, or maybe like less protected. There's something else
Yeah.
happening underneath where a taller man makes them feel more, or maybe that makes them feel more feminine, more, I don't know, more protected, more safe, or something.
Well, and also they might see their partner as less masculine if they're not
Yeah,
tall enough,
even if it's
taller than
subconscious,
them.
right? I think our society puts a lot of weight on height.
I'm just going to call out the church bells. That Okay, they're gone.
Can't hear 'em.
Okay.
I've
And
always been insecure about my height. I'm 5'7.5".
okay,
When I had the spiky hair, I was a little bit taller. Now I have the long hair, so I'm a little bit shorter. So I
yeah.
used
So
to be 5'8". Always, always felt, because I've always had friends that were, tall, 6'6", 6 something, 5'10". You're like 5'10", 5'9".
I'm 6 foot, but I tell people I'm 5'2".
I know, it's a joke. So yeah, I've always been surrounded by tall dudes, and I've always felt like, fuck. I just wish I was 2 or 3 inches taller. But anyway,
Yeah, I mean that's kind of why I asked this question.
what was the question again?
Does height matter in dating?
Oh,
Because I knew you'd
uh,
have some feelings about it.
yes. No, height does not matter. And if it does, I would encourage you to look at where it's coming from, and is it residue from society, or from other people's definition of whatever beauty.
I mean, I have heard that women just want to feel they feel too masculine. They want to feel more feminine, and they
Yeah,
do when they're with a
yeah.
taller partner.
Listen, if two people are secure, whether you're tall, short, doesn't matter. What your body looks like, just own it and be it, and then it doesn't affect the other person. Here's my point. Usually, taller women struggle with shorter guys because the shorter guy is so insecure that it sets off the dynamic. Like,
Yeah,
it's the guy's insecurity that is fucking it up, not so much that she finds him unattractive because he's short.
yeah. Although some
That happens
women,
a lot.
do you know about size queens?
No, what's that?
Oh, so here's another thing that I'm actually really excited about with this partnership that we have is that I have some understanding about like subculture sexual stuff and experience with it that you don't, and then you have like
Oh, yeah, I have no idea.
psychological and like other stuff, and we can like teach each other stuff.
Let's call this a friendship. Partnership sounds too businessy.
Well, just
Are we
it's
not
separate
friends?
from the friendship. It's separate. It's this podcast is separate. I mean, it's yeah. I see what you're
Okay,
saying.
got it.
Okay.
Yeah, so size queen.
A size queen is a woman. Well, I think it came from gay culture, and it's someone who prefers larger penises.
Okay. Okay.
And so there are some people who actually it's a preference for them. So it's to have a larger penis or to be with a taller man. Like it's a preference,
Yeah, yeah, I get
not
it.
so much that the other person is insecure. And I bring it back to penises because men are often insecure about the size of their penis.
Yeah, most men.
Most men.
And it's okay. Like it's okay if you like a larger penis. It's okay if you like a taller person or a shorter person, or if you're a butt person or a breast. Well, whatever you like, what you like. It's okay to have preferences and types and all that. I think I think it can be damaging if you put so much weight on those things. You don't actually get to see someone for who they are. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you don't give them a chance. So if you judge them because they are too short or too whatever, doesn't matter, fill in the blank. If it's then it's like you might be missing an amazing person and you're not getting to know them because of something physical.
I think I heard it said best is that the size or width of someone's penis is rarely going to impact how satisfied you feel overall in a relationship.
Well, I was going to say, okay, let's get real here. 90% of the relationship, the day-to-day, doesn't involve any sexual organs, penis, breasts, butt. Like it doesn't come into
Yeah.
the. I mean, you may admire someone's beauty and how someone looks in a dress or working out or whatever, but like it's like the ability to hold space and to repair and communication. There's all these other things
Yeah.
that create legs of a relationship. Not, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. And I agree with you. So you heard that, everybody? Don't worry about it so much. Also,
Yeah,
there's
cool.
someone out there that wants you just the way you are, with your big butt and
point.
your
Good
5'2"
point.
and your
Whatever.
thin penis or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
or all three.
Yeah. And we all have insecurities too. That's okay.
Oh, what's yours? I mean, your height.
I'm height. My nose is fat. So
Yeah,
growing up, I hated my nose growing up. My grandma has a very kind of fat nose, and she called me when I was 10. She called me strawberry nose. And 딸기코 strawberry nose. Like it's an upside down strawberry. And all my white friends had the sharp noses, and she said, "But I'll tell you what, if you hold it like this,
yeah,
long enough, it'll start to sharpen." And dude, old Korean grandma fucking with me. So I would sit in the bathroom, 10 years old, bowl haircut, strawberry shortcake shirt, in the dark, holding my nose like this, hoping that it would sharpen. And dude, as a 51-year-old man, I still do it. I still have that. A lot of times I'll find myself just, and I know it doesn't work. I know it's stupid, but it's just residue, man. I mean, that's how powerful childhood is.
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. So my nose is one thing I still don't like about myself, and I would almost get plastic surgery, but it would be so obvious. People would be like, "Dude, you got a nose job."
Yeah, well, that's okay. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Do it before your big TV break if you're going to do it at all.
God, now looking at my nose, yeah, I have a fat nose.
Well,
I don't like it.
So I have a fat nose too, and I remember in middle school, the lunch lady asked me when I broke my nose because I have a bump.
Oh, yeah. I don't think you
And
have
I
a
was
fat
like,
nose, but yeah.
well, it's big. It's bigger. It's on the bigger side. And so that scarred me a little bit.
Your nose
But I
isn't
actually
fat, it's predominant. It's like an Italian nose.
Yep. Is it
Yeah.
prominent?
English is my second language, everyone, by the
Well,
way.
it's a Greek nose. It's a big Greek nose, and my dad. And the thing with noses, unfortunately, is that they keep growing.
Hey, did you guys hear how Shaun corrected me? He was so kind. He said, "Oh, is it prominent?" I mean, he knew what it was, but instead of saying, "John, you dumbass, it's not predominant, it's prominent," he
Well,
said,
actually, I
"Oh,
think if we
is
looked
it
it up,
prominent?"
predominant could probably work as well. Is why I asked. Like it could fit. It could fit the sentence.
He corrected me in a kind way, which is a great lesson when you're engaging with anyone that you care about, is to just be kinder. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Thank
do
you.
it with a smile. My belly is the thing that I like. I'm just so over, and that's
You
funny
don't
because
have a belly. What are you
I
talking
do.
about?
I've got a belly.
You're thin. You do not have a belly.
I'm thin with a belly, and I've
Okay.
always been. I have like fat knees, and I remember being.
What do you mean fat knees? You got
I
a
got
fat.
big.
I've never heard a man say I have fat knees.
I've got like big thighs and fat knees, and I remember being in the back of my mom's like old ass Mercedes as like an 8-year-old, and my friend Julian Marcel was sitting next to me, and he had little legs and little knees, and I had these big fat knees. And in comparison, I was just like, one of my legs is the same as both of his legs.
So this is again childhood stuff.
Yeah,
right.
Therapist.
You were wearing shorts. We worked out. You were wearing shorts. I did not notice fat knees.
Well, because we were in CrossFit. Fat knees is good in CrossFit, right? Because you're squatting, deading. By the way, I went to Olympic lifting class, and I didn't know that all they do is either snatch or clean and jerk.
Yeah, those are the two things.
Yeah, I thought
Olympic lifting is a clean and jerk and snatch. Those precision movements. Master.
I showed up, and he's like, "What's your PR?" And I'm like, "How much does the fucking broomstick weigh?" It was fun though. Yeah. Okay, should we do another question? I think we did well. Yes. So we're gonna get to like 2 questions.
That's all right. Yeah. I think it's quality over quantity with this. We're not trying to knock out 50 questions per episode. We're trying to depth over width. That's what she said.
Nice. I'll let you have it. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, that's what she said.
As long as we retire baby arm, like forever, we're good.
Oh, can I just say yes? And I agree. We should retire that. We could do better. And the other thing we should retire that you said, and you said it like I would say it too. I think is eating a girl out. That term I think we should retire.
Okay, going down.
Eating a girl. Yeah, I don't know. Eating a girl out is like, what are we at Sizzler? What is? It just feels. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like it feels very buffet.
Sure. I think we could say oral sex. We could say performing cunnilingus. We could say
those are too technical. I think we need as a society need to just come up with some better terms.
Licking pussy.
Oh, that's kind of hot. I mean, I like the kinky shit. So that's okay if you want to, if you have permission to talk like that. But eating a girl out, that's a locker room term. And
first of all, we might have to go back and look at the record, but I probably didn't say girl. I might have, but I usually say women.
You said her. You did say eating her out, eating something out.
Yeah, eating her out. Yeah.
Eating her out. Yeah,
But I don't like using the word girl to talk about women.
I get it. Me too. Thank you for calling that out. We could do better. Girl, because it comes naturally.
All right. Well, let's see what people say, but I'm totally down to find an alternative. I don't want
no more baby arm, no more eating a woman out or eating her out.
We're gonna get some pushback on that one. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah, I think a lot of women are gonna be like, "There's nothing wrong with eating out."
Okay.
But I'm open. I'm totally open.
I disagree. I'll bet you they'll be like, yes, finally.
Okay. Finally. Well, leave a review if you're hearing this, or drop us a comment.
Next question.
Yeah.
Oh, are we out of time? We're almost out of time.
No, it's your turn. You got to ask me one at least.
All right, here we go.
I'm having a lot of fun, by the way.
Dude, it's always fun chatting with you. Holy shit! This is a real question. We're not going to do this one, but this question says he's a 10, but same height. We're both 5'5". Not sure how to get over the height being short. How funny. Anyway,
that means he's not a 10.
Well,
I get those questions all the time.
He's a 10 on the inside. Like he's a 10 as like a partner, but he's too short for me. Is what she's.
But that means he's not a 10. He's a 5'5".
Dude, you're not even a dad, and you're fucking okay. Had an affair, working through separation and healing right now. Trouble with my guilt and my boundaries. I don't. That's what the question is.
Is that a question? Like how do I deal?
Yeah, so I had an affair, and I'm now working through the separation and healing, but I'm having trouble with my guilt, and I think with guilt and boundaries, she means I feel myself, I don't know, going back or feeling bad, Yeah,
I mean it's hard. It's hard because isn't there? I don't know what the statistic is, but that most couples will try to work through infidelity. That's what Esther Perel says.
Yes, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something where it's going to activate a lot of people, and I hope we don't lose followers. I think as a society, we crucify people who have had affairs so much that there is just no room for any repair. Like once someone has cheated, they are done. They are dead to me. And it's like I get there is total betrayal. I'm not minimizing the pain of an affair, but we have to explore it. How did this happen? What was your part in it? Was it, someone leading a secret life for 10 years, which is very different than someone who felt lonely and undesired and at a party and had a drink and something happened with a friend. Like, what were the circumstances? Like, how did, because I feel like affairs, cheating, but I feel like all of that is the byproduct of something else that has been happening in the relationship. It's not someone who wakes up one day and says, I'm going to, cheat on my partner. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's usually like a slow
Yeah.
degradation of
Yeah.
trust or
Other
communication or connection.
problems. Yes.
So I don't think your take is that hot. I don't think we're going to lose any followers. We don't have any to lose. First of all, like that's the benefit of a new show, is that this is when we can throw spaghetti at the wall and there's no risk, you know?
I'm more optimistic than you, but anyway, go ahead.
I think most couples try to work through their infidelity. I think we do crucify people who have cheated.
Crucify.
And
Yes, that would crucify.
you said that. It was good. You said it. And Esther Perel says, okay, so your first marriage is over. If you choose to work through this, how will your second marriage be any different? And I don't think that either of us are blaming the victim of betrayal or infidelity here and saying like, this is, you caused this, what's your role in this? But like we have a role in the dynamic of the relationship, how we're showing up. And to answer the question, it's hard to leave someone even if it's the right thing for you. Like you can feel guilty. It's normal to feel guilty about choosing to end your relationship. And I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't end your relationship after betrayal, but like it's okay to feel bad about it, right? And it's okay to like maybe come back and go like, well, is this actually really what I want to do? Is this what I need for my healing? Do I actually want to break up the family unit? Or not that like leaving will break up the family unit, but it can contribute to it. So it's okay to feel bad and guilty about this decision, and that you won't know ultimately if this was like the quote unquote right thing until much later.
Pause, letting you finish, watching
You're doing
your list.
so well at this.
Because there's 5 things I wanted to say. I just bit my tongue.
You're doing really, really well, by the way.
Feeling guilty is totally okay. Internalizing is not, right? So if you feel bad because you did something, whether it's cheating, whatever you did, that's normal. You're human. If you say, because of that, I'm a piece of shit and I'm unlovable and I deserve to be punished and I deserve to be cheated on, that's a whole different. Now it's now you're internalizing. You're tying your behavior to your worth, and that's unhealthy.
Yeah. Yep. Cool.
One more?
Yeah, I guess we could do a quickie. We've got like a minute and a half.
That's what she said. She was a mom, by the way. All right.
Choose it well.
She was a mom. I said that's what she said, and she was a mom.
Oh.
We only have a minute and a half. Let's do it quick.
Oh, nice, dude. Yeah, I don't get
like
the. Yeah, I got dad jokes, but I don't understand the nuances of.
Because you're not a dad. Okay.
Okay, here it is. Is it a red flag that he's 45 and never been in a long-term relationship?
Ooh. What is that? Okay, so what would classify as a long-term relationship? 1 year, 3 years, 5? What's a long-term relationship?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with a year as the minimum.
I think the flag is pink.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's red. Like I wouldn't judge someone because they have, but I would be curious at 45. I would just be curious, like, oh, this person has only dated but not been in a long term. Is there is there something happening as far as like a fear of intimacy, fear of abandonment? Like, is he loving from a distance and not really wanting to commit? I wouldn't say that that's happening. I would just be curious about is that, and you wouldn't know unless you actually just started to build a relationship with them and see what happens.
Yeah. I love that you go for pink as the like not a red flag. Like
As
I guess
opposed
it's
to what?
between white and pink. Sorry, white and red is pink, right?
Yes.
And I'll go like, oh, it's an orange flag. It's between yellow and red.
Because well, we don't start with yellow. The flag is white and then red, or white
No,
and
it's
then green.
well, I thought it was
We don't start at orange.
green, yellow, red, sort of like in racing.
Oh, you're talking about the staff, the light, the traffic lights.
I guess.
Yellow,
I
green.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
green flags, red flags. And then it's like, oh, let's throw some orange ones in there. And
so then, okay. So with that analogy, then the flag would be yellow, not orange.
it'd be
It
yellow.
would be.
But
It would be
so
the.
you,
So red is stop, green is go, and the. Did I just cut you off? I don't care if
yeah,
I cut you
no,
off.
that's good. Yellow is, yeah,
Yellow is caution. So
yeah.
you're right. That works. That works better than the pink. But you said orange, which makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
yellow.
See,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
figuring it out. We're figuring it
Both
out.
of us,
You
both of
know,
us said things that make no sense,
we're we're dancing.
which is the,
Well,
which is the
I
theme
see.
of our podcast.
It's funny because I see orange as like light red, but actually light red is pink. So
You're going by the actual color and like hues and shit, but what you should be going, you should be going by the stop signal, the light at the traffic light, because those lights mean something to us. The red light means that we should stop, and the green light means that we should go, and the yellow light means to just be cautious. You can go, but you might get blindsided. You might just be cautious, go slowly. And I
well,
think with this question, yellow light.
yellow light. I don't think you should all over me, right? Like we should use this and should do that and should, because relationships they're personal to the people in the relationship. So as long as we find a definition that works for us, doesn't really matter
Yes.
what other
Yes.
people think.
I would not stop because someone has not been in a long-term relationship and the person's 45. I would be
I
curious.
would be very
I would not
curious
stop.
as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you said, I'd be super curious. What's the story there?
Yeah.
Is there a fear of commitment? And those are the questions that you want to actually ask. Like, hey, I'm a little curious why you haven't been in a relationship for more than a year. What happens? How do they end? What's the fear? Right. These are all things that we should be talking about early on.
And if the person says, hey, listen, I'll tell you why. Been dating a lot. And then when I get close to someone, I panic and I bolt and I have this fear of abandonment, something I'm working on. That also shouldn't be a red flag. I'll tell you why. Because he's aware of it and he's working on it. Do you know what I'm saying? So
it's a risk.
Well, it wouldn't be fair if someone says, hey, listen, here's what I'm struggling with. And you're like, I gotcha. All right, I'm out. You know?
Well, but you could say, hey, I appreciate that you're working on that. That sounds really important to you. And that's just a little too risky for me at this point in my life.
I don't know. Look, it's okay that Shaun and I have different answers.
Yeah. I mean, they're not that different.
I would still explore it until I was like, okay, this person, like I would, what is it called? I would play it out. I wouldn't assume.
What if you're a woman who wants to have a kid with your partner?
What if he's actively working on it and this is the relationship where he actually goes 3, 4, 5 years? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, what if you're the person that he actually stretches with?
And all relationships require some amount of risk taking.
The ante to sit at the table of love is always going to be possible heartbreak.
I love that.
You like that?
I love that. Yeah, I heard you say that like 4 years ago.
Oh, you fucker.
I might have even, I've liked it ever since I heard it. And the table is
you're bagging on me.
The poker table. No, I like it. I've used it. I've used that and credited you in.
Well, this is also proof. This is proof that we've known each other peripherally for a long time, and why it feels like we know each other more than the 2 months that we actually have known each other.
Well, I think I've known you longer than you've known me, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. A little creepy, but I didn't know that.
Okay. Well, we should wrap it up. One piece of feedback that I got from people was that they loved that it was that was an hour. We kept it to an hour, and we're actually trying to keep it to 45 minutes.
We're not charming enough to go 2 hours.
I just don't have.
At this point, we have to bring on a guest. I interrupted you again. I'm sorry.
No, you did. You're fine. There's some room. There's some room for that. I'll tell you when it's annoying. I actually don't really feel super sensitive about it.
Okay.
But you're doing really well. And also, I like giving positive reinforcement when a behavior is being modified. Like,
Oh, yeah,
does
yeah.
that feel good to you to hear that I think you're doing well with the interrupting?
I wonder if it's predominant. I wonder if it's predominant. Not.
Prominent.
Oh, sorry. I wonder if it's prominent. That's what you're doing. You're being very kind. You're saying, hey, you're doing well today with interruption, even though you've
But how does
interrupted
that feel to
eight and
receive
a half
that?
times. Amazing. Good.
Do you feel
Care for. Care for.
yeah.
Handled with care.
And I don't feel super sensitive to the interrupting stuff, but it's nice when you're like aware of it and go like, oh, I think I might have cut you off there. Like that feels nice.
If it is coming from passion, that some interrupting is okay because it feeds into the banter. If it's a pattern of interrupting, I think it's rude. And so I definitely have been rude on many podcasts.
Okay. Well, maybe this makes you a better guest on somebody else's podcast.
Speaking of guests, before we end, is that something you're interested in? Also having guests?
No.
Or callers?
Oh, callers, yeah. But guests,
Yeah.
no, I don't.
Yeah, me too. I think because that's just the standard format. I think we should go the other way and bring on callers. People we've never met.
Callers it's total wild card.
I love it. I love the wild cardness stuff.
Yeah, we don't need to bring. We have enough to talk about. We don't have to bring. Except for David Letterman, if we can get him.
There's a few people that we won't say no to.
We should make exceptions. Yeah.
I won't say no to Brad Pitt.
Okay. Brad Pitt, David Letterman. I met Conan O'Brien once. I could maybe ask him.
I wouldn't say no to Conan O'Brien.
Okay.
Anne Hathaway.
Fun. Who?
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
Yes.
I think it's Anne, but yeah.
What did I call her? I called her Anne Hathaway.
I heard Anna. I heard Anna Hathaway.
Oh no, it's Anne. It's Anne.
I've got a little
crush on a movie. I thought she was very attractive.
Yeah, I've got a crush on Anne Hathaway for sure.
Okay, so we wouldn't say no.
Yeah. Okay, this is fun.
Oprah? Would you say no?
I had a great time. Who? Oprah?
Oprah. Yeah.
Yeah. Duh. You can't say no to Oprah.
Yeah. So we would have guests. They just have to be a different level.
Okay. This was fun. I think we can do better. I think we've shown ways in which we could do better.
Hey, I thought we were going to end with one thing, big or small, that we can do better with.
And personally.
Yes, and don't make it a gimmick. Like you really think like, oh, this is something that I do want to do.
Well, I could be better at getting back to people.
Oh yeah. You're pretty quick with me, but yes, that's.
Well, I've got you pinned at the top of my my messages.
Oh shit! I didn't even know you can do that. Wow, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
On that note, I could do better with not writing people off when they don't get back to me. So Vanessa always reminds me, like, John, someone doesn't have to text you right back. They have a life, and I'm like, yeah, but I invited them to something, and they or whatever, and I jump to conclusions I take it very personally if someone doesn't text me back in 4 seconds.
Well, I don't take it personally because I want them to extend the same grace that I extend to them when I don't get back to people.
And also, people have a life, John. They might be working like that. You know, it's the neediness in me. It's the child in me that is like hurt when someone doesn't text me right back.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, you have a lot of energy, and you're like shooting from the hip like all day long.
Yeah, and most people that they don't, and so I have to be understanding of that not everyone is like me.
We don't all do CrossFit.
Hey everyone, Shaun and I both have a Substack, so if you want to see some of our writing, check that out.
Yeah, well, mine's ShaunGalanos.substack.com. Yours is
The Angry Therapist.
.substack.com. Yeah, and a link in both of our bios on Instagram. Yeah. And I've been having a really great time writing on my Substack. I wrote this blog last week called 10 Reasons Why Dating Me Will Be a Nightmare.
It's great. And you look like Luke Perry.
Luke Perry.
You look like your hair. You look like Luke Perry and also with the cigarette. It was very kind of. And I think it's the photo that people loved. You looked very James Dean. You had the squinty eyes and the cool Luke Perry hair, and you had a cigarette dangling from your mouth.
I was smoking. Yeah, it was a photo taken at Burning Man like 8 years ago or something. When I
Yeah.
was at when I peaked.
Everyone, thank you for listening, and
Have a beautiful week.
keep asking questions.
We love you.
Be well.